Hi, I am Daniel, and the first episode of the new Disney Plus series Monsters at Work are out finally. It was one of the first Disney Plus originals announced back in 2019, and it seemed to be put on the shelf the 2021 release. Its original release date was 2nd July for the first episode, but it got delayed to 7th of July last minute because Disney likes Wednesday releases now, despite Friday being massively superior in every way and conveniently placed before weekends. They wanted to delay the previous release date to the 7th, couldn't they announced it earlier than 2 weeks before? There was also 2 episodes released at once, which I think is a good decision, so there's more of the show to talk about for its first week. Monsters at Work is Pixar's first proper series, and there's your upcoming ones, which were announced later. There was Buzz Lightyear Starkman, but that wasn't made by Pixar, and Mater's Tall Tales, which were just a collection of shorts. Sorry about my video's introduction being so long, but anyway, how will Pixar do on its first series? Going to start by talking about the animation, which I didn't know how to feel about when I first saw it in motion, cause something looks off about it. It's good looking for a series, and in a your way, it's a massive improvement on Monsters Inc. visuals, but the textures don't good look, especially compared to Monster University, which looks incredible for both hairy and scary monsters. The lighting is also great for being really light, while this is lighted depressingly dark. Animation is still passable enough, but it's heavily flawed. About the characters, he is a good protagonist because he's also an aspiring scarer, but like Mike, his dreams are ruined, but not by the system, but the change of system. With comedy replacing scaring. He has a good backstory, and I appreciate how he has taken effort to get better at comedy. The only problem with Tyler is his design looks weird with the big emptiness between his eyes and mouth. He needs a nose or a smaller gap to fix it. I can say are presented great for still being main characters despite not being the main character, and they have their own story too, with adjusting to being in charge of a company. The other new characters are quite bad, and the worst part of these episodes for having little to no individual personality traits, aside from the guy who is the worst Randall. In the same franchise, Monsters University used Macabre Squad has a similar purpose, but are way better for being entertaining. The film's middle is paced superbly enough that you manage to buy their connection with Mike and Sawyer, while in Monsters at Work, you can't differentiate them. When the show tried to have a connection with them, it felt really forced. I don't have much to say about the comedy other than it's mixed. The funniest joke easily was during Mike's first comedy cast, the first reel. I won't spoil what it is though. The story is good for continuing the Monsters Inc. ending of changing the company to be about laughter, and it adds on the theme by showing there are downsides to the system changing, and it's hard to change with the monsters spending their entire school time yearning to be a scarer, but it's still a good change over the previous system. We also appreciate how, although it's mostly tied to Monsters Inc., Monster University is still referenced and canon in this universe. Yet continue to ignore that one line from the first film. However, a problem with the story is that the pacing is way too quick and makes it feel like barely anything happened. Out of the two so far, Meet Mift is the worst episode because only after one scene, Talia is suddenly friends with everyone. In conclusion, I'm mixed on Monsters at Work. It continues the franchise well, but the pacing is poor and the secondary new characters are bad and underdeveloped so far. I will give this episode 7 out of 10. I don't know whether or not to recommend it, so it really depends whether or not you are already interested in this. The rest of the show could go either way. I can see it getting better or worse, so I'll keep watching. I won't review every new episode each week, because the last time I tried it, other videos got sidelines and the reviews got repetitive. I think the hype for this show went down a lot, knowing it wasn't a one-off Pixar show because I had a good idea, but a start to a yacht, which despite being an obvious cash grab, will hopefully still be good, but we'll see. It's way better than Muppets now, I can say that at least.